Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Pre-Market Morning Leap. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head trader for Quantum Leap Trading. Quantum Leap Trading is a group of retail traders, been around for coming up on 6 years. Each morning we come together in this live session, and what we do is we take a look at the macro to the micro, look at the structure of the market, and then look at the trading levels that we want to trade off of and our targets and our hypotheses for the day so that we know exactly what we're going to do during the regular trading hours. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in finding out about the live trade room, send me an email to quantumleaptrading@gmail.com or give me a call at 647-545-8065. Okay, let's get the legals out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in here are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence and your own trade plan. Okay, let's see if I can get out of here now. Okay. This is a brand new computer with Windows 8, and I am not familiar with it at all. Okay, so let's see if we can bring up. Yes, we can. So, whoops, wrong one. Taking a look at the news today, there really is no news. Basically a bunch of Australian news coming out throughout the day, so no real big news to concern ourselves with. So let's take a look at the big picture and go from there, see if I can do this. I'm now running multiple screens in here, which is good for us. So each morning I like to do, oh, my monthly's gone. What's up with that? I guess my reboot must have gotten rid of my my monthly. Oh, this is going to be fun today, I see. All right. There we go. All right, so each morning I like to start with just a basic macro to micro, where we are in trends. This is a 9 EMA, this is a 20 SMA, simply looking for slope and separation and where the trend will be violated. You can see that the monthly trend is very much intact. We're above the 9 and the 20 and trading near the almost all-time highs. Going down to the weekly, we had 2 weeks that we were below the 9 and the 20. Look like a possibility of a trend starting to the downside. We are starting to get one. We popped back up last week and closed above the 9 and the 20, and currently we're trading this week above the 9 and the 20, and we're starting to get slope and separation. Possible head and shoulder pattern, but I'm not thinking that that's going to be the case. I think we're going to actually go and take care of these other highs, and we'll take a look at them when we get into the composite. Going down to the weekly, let's get rid of the open interest. We don't need that. You can see that we've got a very strong trend on the weekly. We do have a naked cross on the weekly down at 1984. I'm looking at the 89, but we do have a naked cross, so at some point in time we're going to come down and take this out. But we do have slope and separation and prices paralleling the 9 pretty nicely. So the trend is very much intact on the daily. Going down to the intraday to see if there is trends coming into the regular trading hours. You can see we've been following this 4 hour for the last 4 or 5 days, and it's been pretty strong, but we've lost some slope and separation, and we're testing below the 9 right now. Test of the 20 will bring us down into the 2018.75 area, and I'm looking for a bit of a pullback this morning into that 18 to 14 area. Going down to the 30-minute, a little bit of different story. Oh, we got a possible head and shoulders happening here. Let's take a look at this. There's the left shoulder. There's the head. There's the right shoulder. I would put the neckline right around here. And where is our extension? This is just a quick, real down and dirty look at this. So we have a possible 61.8 extension down into the 21.16 1/4. That's significant. But what's more significant is this 100% move down into the 21.1375, or basically that 21.14, which is where I'm anticipating. You know what? I lost my jing as well. Hold on a second. I want to take a picture of this, and I gotta find where my jing is. Jing is already running. Look for yellow. Okay. I don't see him. It's supposed to be at the top of my screen, but I don't see it. Oh well, I'll have to take a picture later. So anyway, we do have some weakness coming in this morning, and keep an eye on this possible formation and target down to these areas. I think we're just going down and making new overnight lows right now. Let's go drill down a little bit further. Let me get rid of this. Going to the 5-minute, you can see much stronger trend right here on the 5-minute. And you still have your head and shoulder pattern there as well. Almost a little one right here as well. But we do have slope and separation to the downside, so we do have a bit of a downward trend on the smaller time frames coming in. I'd like to know where my jing is. All right, so let's look at the big picture. We have a possible spinning top here. We've got a doji day yesterday. The big picture is we broke out of this balance at the value area high, which is basically at 2107 of the longer term balance that centers around the microcomposite VPOC going back to February the 5th down to 93.50. On the shorter time frame, we broke out and we came up and we accepted value here at the 2114. That is the monthly microcomposite VPOC, but it's also the VPOC from this area right here that we tried to hold value before falling out of it and coming down and spending that 10 days down testing these lower levels. They accepted value down here, 57.50, then they gapped up, broke out, accepted value just before the breakout of the longer term microcomposite, up at 2103.75. Then they gapped up again, accepted value where they tried to hold value before, on the 2 days after the breakout, and then yesterday was a continuation to the upside, but we had some responsive selling. Now the key to yesterday was, for I don't know how long I've been saying, since we put in those all-time highs and then they got adjusted to the September contract, I said we were running with two unequalized all-time highs. We were running between the June and the September, which is typically not left unattended. And then we were also running in both contracts a RTH high with a all-time Globex high, and those are never left alone. Well, our RTH high in the September all-time high in September contract was 24.50, and we took that out yesterday. And then the all-time high in the September contract was 21.26 and a quarter, and we also went up there. So now our RTH and our all-time high in the September contract are equalized at 21.26 and a quarter. This is an important concept to understand, because this will help you not become one of those ones that gets overly short too quick when we leave unequalized highs up there. And we still have the June unequalized RTH high at 32.25, and then the all-time high in the June contract at 34. So we still have those above us. That's not to say that we're not going to get a bit of a pullback. I think we're going, because of the doji day yesterday, I think we're going to have a rotational day with a little bit of a downside bias back towards this 21.15, 21.14, 50 area. And we'll take a look at it on the smaller picture. So let's take a look at what's going on overnight. Obviously, we're making new lows right now in the overnight session. They're coming down. They're making this move down even before the RTH session. Our all-time high, our overnight high is 21.25, basically sitting right on our value area high from yesterday. Our overnight VPOC is 21, sitting basically right on our VPOC from the RTH session yesterday. And of course, we're coming down, making new lows. And who knows, we could end up with an overnight low of 21.1650 and basically have ourselves some pretty decent balance between yesterday's RTH and today's Globex. But right now, our overnight low is 1875, so we have to put that in right now and then watch to see if it's expanded. I'm expecting it to get expanded before we even get into the RTH high. I'm thinking it'll probably come down into the RTH session, I should say. I'm thinking it's going to come down to this 21.16. Anyway, so how are we going to trade this? Well, it's going to be easy. Well, it's never easy, but 21.1650 going to be a key area for today. Below that, your first target, you want to get into this 21.15.25, but I'm going to be targeting the 21.14.50. Then below that, we have 21.12 and a quarter. Just get rid of this for a second. That 21.12 and a quarter is the lower side of this value. I want to bring this up even bigger. You can see that it's the lower side of the value around the 21.14. The 2-day, and you can see I haven't brought yesterday in, because yesterday was a doji day, possibly a spinning top. Even if I bring that information in, it doesn't change the fact that the most accepted price in the last 3 days is here when we accepted value after the breakout at 21.14.50. So bringing this in doesn't give me any other information. What it does do, though, is changes what was the 2-day value area low at 21.13, if I bring in yesterday, it brings in the value area for 3 days to 21.1250, which is right above this 21.12 1/4, and that's going to be another key area for us. And then my main target below here, if we don't find responsive buyers at the 14 or even at the 12.25, is to come down here and hit this this 21.0850. I mean, 21.14 is my main target below range and below value. But when you're trading 21.1850 right now, it's not a very big move. I'm going to actually just change this to just a regular target. And then the key line in the sand for us doesn't change. It's this value area high, which has just shifted slightly to 21.07. I can get rid of that because this is not necessary. So if we get below the 21.08, we should test this 21.07, and then if we get below the 21.07, then I'm looking for a bigger move down to where they accepted value just before the breakout at 21.0375. And if they fail to bounce from there, we've also got the gap close at 21.04 1/4 or 21.0450. And if they fail to find responsive buyers here and break back out for continuation, then I think we got to come back down even more and come back into this 21.0350 with possibility of some responsive buyers here at 2100. So that's how I'm seeing the big picture right now. So so below 1650, look for the takeout of the 1450 with continuation to the 12.25. If they don't hold 12.25, look for them to test the next CLVN at 21.0875. And if break the 21.0875, we'll likely test here. And if we don't hold, then I'm looking for targets at 0375, 2100, and ultimately the next big target below, which is 93.75. There is a little bit of a target here at 97.50. That's simply if you do an add-on or a short from the 2100, you want to make sure that you want to get one scale off and targeting this 97.50 first with continuation, hopefully, to the 93.75. And then below that, you've got that 89. Remember, we've got that naked cross down here on the daily, down at the 2084 area. And then there's another key line in the sand at the CLVN down here at 82.50. And then we have our targets below, and we've been through these a million times. 81.25, 75, 75, 71.66 with the next big target down here in the 59 to 57.50 area. To the upside, so I can use the 19, there's this LVN at 19.25 and the value area low at 1950. And we have to expand this out. What's our new overnight low so far? I don't have that chart up right now, so I'll have to adjust this at the end. But we know it's at least 21.18 1/4. So I can use the 1950 area as a trade area, because if we get above there, then we have strong balance and strong target at 21. We've got the midpoint at 21.50. We've got the VWAP. We've got the VPOC from yesterday, and then we've got the naked close at 22. And I'm going to put a target at 22 for that naked close. And then if we get inside here, look for continuation up, especially if we put in a overnight low in the Globex that's a little bit lower, and then they get back up inside of value and leave that overnight low alone. Look for them to come up here and take out this overnight high. And that will be my next trade area. And above that, look for them to go and make a new RTH high, all-time high in the September contract. We have a measured move at 28. There's really not much up here to guide us except for our measured moves and our targets. I would not get short above 21, 26, 25. I think you'd be crazy to do that, and fight a possible blow off up into these 32 and a quarters and 34s. These are the next two big targets above us, and I'm going to mark these down here so that there's no escaping them. Can't type on this new system all the time. Globex. June contract. And then there's another measured move just above it at 36, 39, 41, 50. Should be 41.50. And then 50, and then that's 66 and a quarter. And those are the measured moves that I'm looking to the upside. Let's bring that Windows Manager, where is it? All right, so we have a new overnight high down at 18. So let's see if they can hold that, get back. We got a little bit of an LVN right here at 1950 again. Really looking good for a move above that to take out that 21. So that should be a decent trade for us today. Let's take a quick look at gold. That's not my gold chart. This is my gold chart. All right, so we broke out of that value. We were looking for a move down to 1128. I don't know why it's saying 1125.80, but our target was 1128. This is a new computer. I probably have to do a download on this. So far, after yesterday's breakout or breakdown, I got a bunch of work to do still. Edit preferences. I need to put a I don't want that. I want this. I got to do a bunch of cleanup work, but I don't want the heat map. I want navy, I guess. Volume shading. All right, I got to fix this. Anyway, we have a balance in here at 1106. 1106.20 to be exact. Right now you have a CLVN, long-term CLVN at 1101.80. Anything above that, look for them to come back up and test this 1106, 1107 with possibility of continuation above 1190. Above that, look for a move to 18 and then back into the 25 to 28. If we get below 1103, then you target 94 with 74 being your next big destination below. And I've got to do some work, but I've been too busy this week trying to get my new computer to bring in some of these lower levels. But we do have some pretty strong indications in terms of getting a bounce from here. We had that double FUBAR tech gap, Mr. Sneaky, on the 15-minute. We're also getting a tech gap FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky, on the daily as well. Hasn't completely come in yet, but after today, if this is a Mr. Sneaky, then you've got a larger time frame FUBAR tech gap Mr. Sneaky on gold. So I'm looking for a bounce here on gold. Could test one more time down, but I think we're gonna find some responsive buyers in here and get a move back up into some of these numbers that we fell out of, specifically 1128 and 1155, 54 area. Anyway, that's going to complete the pre-market trade plan setup. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.